Okay, so what I'm going to do, I am going to do some UVs. We're going to do a taste of UVs. Just some very simple things. Yes, we will do it. First off, what I need to do is make sure that I'm in here and I go to the go to File, Project Window. Remember, this should really say Create Project. I'm going to go and hit New Project. And we'll just call this Texturing. Okay, whatever. Oh, good. Nice. Spell that well. Texturing Project. Great. And that's going to go to my C drive. You know what? I can browse and I can put it somewhere else. So maybe I'll go quickly and zip in here and let's go to school and I'll throw it in here. Okay, great. And hopefully there won't be any problems here. So I'm just going to go ahead and hit select. So now it's going to my school. Okay, I'm going to hit accept. And then I got to go and check, and let's see, if I'm going to use this, and this. I'll just grab these ones. I'm going to copy them really quickly, and if I check in school, and here, I put it in, who am I, what am I doing? There. And I want to put this into my source images folder, okay? And I'm just going to paste those in. There they are. Okay, so we'll start with simple. And the simplest one I can think of is if I go in here and I create a polygon plane. And in the polygon plane, we'll pull it up a little bit so we can see it. And I'm going to right click and I'll put on a favorite material. Let's put on a blend. And the blend, certain things about 2017 are a little wacky. If I go here to color and I go here to the texture button, get to the create render node, and I go to file texture, an image name. I'm just going to go browse, and I'm going to pick out floor tile. And I don't see it. That's because 4 is for wireframe, 5 is for shaded, and 6 is for hardware texturing. So now I've got it. And okay, and you can see it here. By the way, if the sample doesn't show up, if you just click on it, if you get a large image, it won't show up. So you just click onto the sample and it'll refresh. If you have a large sample and you're constantly using large samples beyond 2K textures, if you go to Windows and you go to Settings Preferences, into the preference here, and under Display, maximum resolution for swatch is 2K by 2K. I think that's too small. I usually just put it to 10K because I'll never use that, and save it, and I'll never have a problem not seeing my little samples over here. Okay, so let's close this up. And in 2017, they've taken the UV editor out of here. They've changed its name a little while ago. It used to be called the UV texture editor. So you'll hear me refer to that, and this is exactly what I mean is the UV editor. Remember, that stands for unilateral and vertical. Unilateral being another word for horizontal. When I select it, I'll see it over here. Yes! Okay, so next thing I can do is I can tile this. If I just go in here and I select UVs, and let's go and take this and I can make it smaller and bigger, right? This is another way to tile. Remember, you can rotator it, okay? You can move it, whoop, 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 whoop. And it looks like a bad hangover when you do this. Oh, man. It seems to give me a funny jitter. I don't know if that's a 2017 thing. Anyway, let's go and undo. And all I'm just going to do is scale it, okay? Nothing special. I could also note here that I don't necessarily need all of these polygons on here. A little trick I do is I just grab, say, all the edges, and if you just go and you quickly hold down Control, you get the shrink selection, then you take all the vertices and you go under Edit Mesh and you use Delete Edge Vertex, and then we just get a plain polygon. I could have gone over here to the polygon plane and reduced it to, but I'm showing you multiple ways to do the same freaking thing. So, that's the first one. Okay, first of the 3. Actually, I'm going to do 4. Next one, let's go and do a quick create, and we're going to do a little bit of modeling here. I'll just go and... This is the best freaking model I've ever made in my... Okay, it doesn't look right. Oh, no. Oh, no. Yeah, let's cook like that. Okay, great. And I can do whatever I want with this thing. I'll say this shape is good. I can probably be more accurate if I want to. There. Good. And I'm going to take this and I'm going to go into assign new material, and let's use another blend. Let's go over to color, and I'm just going to go in and I'm going to go to file texture, and this time I'm going to check the cheddar bunnies. Yeah, the cheddar bunnies. Now, something funny here with this to take a look at is that my scale values are a little bit wacky. When you're doing your UVs, when you're using things like automatic mapping and some other tricks, it's a good idea to freeze your transformations if you can. Okay, so now if I go into UV and I hit it with the automatic map and I was to look at it, oh, you bastard, what did you do now? Like, why is that going down here? It shouldn't go down here, it should be around the object. Probably because I don't know, some silly programmer someplace decided to screw this up. And I'm just going to go, there's the image. I'm going to put on dim image so I can see my UVs. Okay, let's move this over here. And then typically what I'll do is I'll move these into place one by one. If I grab a UV here, if I do a quick little, hold down Control, right click to shell, la 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 la. And typically what I'll do is I always do the left-hand corner first. And this doesn't matter where you pick, what you want to do. I just find that's what I seem to notice I always do. Okay, good enough. And then I'll grab another one. Let's grab that one. The shell. La la. And that's this side right here. And that's not the French side. No, not the French. Okay. Let's go like this. Okay. And then we'll do something like that. Oh, actually I missed. You can see it stretching on here. Okay, great. And then I'll grab these two to shell, and I put these ones up here someplace, and that's the other side. Oh, and is that backwards? Is it sideways? No, it's French! Okay. Boop, boop. Upside down. Could be French. Could be upside down. There, okay. And boop. I'm just going to quickly move these over, and did I have it? Something like that. Okay, cool. Done. And we got the backside. Bastard, move over here. Okay, and where's this one over here? Again, I'm just doing that Control right click to shell. That's super fast. I do this all the time. And is this one here is not doing too bad. It seems to be in the right direction. Okay. And remember that if I go to shell, there's also these rotate buttons. They'll rotate it around. Something I typically do is if you right click, you get the options. And instead of 45 degrees, I always have mine sitting on 90 because I never really use 45. Okay, so when I click it, now it's 90. You can tell that whenever you see a little box show up on your cursor, here, I'll move this out of the way so you can see my cursor, the little box shows up. That means if I right click, the options pop up for that. Okay. So I'll do a couple more here, right click to shell, and that looks like the bottom one. And let's see, right here. Oh, you bastard. Okay, let's do object mode, and if I hit Control 1, that will isolate my selection. Okay, and you see a little thing come on up here. And I hit Control 1 again, and it will unisolate. Let's go over here to UVs, and then I can rotate her there. And no one's going to look on the bottom, right? I could even delete the bottom and no one's going to look. Anyway, I can do a better job, but I'm just doing this quick. Go over here, rotate, and that should be good. And let's do this and this. And there we go. Something like that. Oui, c'est bon. Wow. There we go. I'll do that Quebecois. There. So there's another object done. And I probably also want to go in and make sure I delete my history. Alt-Shift-D. Boop. That's the hotkey for deleting your history. And Control-1 brings back the floor. And maybe, let's see, I deleted that. If I go in here and I move the pivot point, D and V, bloop. And then if I hold down V, bloop. There we go. It's on the floor. And just to be fancy, because I think it's funny, if I move this over here and then I do a duplicate, move this over this way, and then I do Shifty. That's the hotkey, Shift-D, make a duplicate, and I'll hold down V as I'm moving it so it snaps to the top. And just for fun, then I'll do Shifty. Great display. And I'll just go in and I'm just going to delete some of these things. And I think I went crazy up here. Let's get rid of those. Okay, so one more of these. What time are we at? 9 minutes, okay, 10. Okay, I'm going to go in here and I'm going to do a create polygon cylinder. And this time around, I'm going to do it without using the UV editor. And I'll right click, and if I go in here and assign a favorite material, I put on a blend, And in the blend, I go and I pick file texture, and I browse, and I grab myself the soup can. I make you some soup. Then what I'm going to do is, first off, let's just grab, say, these faces here. And under UV, I'm going to use the cylindrical map. And now the cylindrical map, here I'm going to hit 5 so you can see the tool. And this wraps around your object. Okay, and let's go and hit 6 so we can see the texture. And you can kind of see what I just did, wrapping around, and it tiles as it goes. Okay, and then I scale it up. And there's a little tiny green handle you can't quite see. And that one's a little bit off, hey? Ho 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 ho. Okay, somewhere around here. I just say that's good right there. Oui. Okay, and then, so I did that without going into the UV editor. Then I can grab, say, these top ones here, these top faces, and what I'm going to do this time is, instead of a cylindrical, let's use a planar. I never use a spherical, so I'm not even going to bother worrying about it. Planar, and typically with a planar, this dictates which direction it's going to project in from, and so X and Z are going to come in from the side and from the front, so it's going to go and give me some bad streaking here, but in this case here, the Y-axis is going to be projecting down from the top, so I'll hit project! And then I can scale this up, nice and uniform, and I put it here. Let's do it a little bit, it's a bit big, hey? Okay, we put it there, good. And then I'll go down here and I'll select these faces down here. This time around when I select, let's do something a little bit different. If I grab the vertex in the center, hold down Control, right click, to faces, boop. Then I can go back over here to UVs, and I can go and hit planar. Do the same thing again, make it big. Yes, bring it over here, okay? Okay, great, nice. And we got you some soup. And do I want to do, I'll do one more right now. This one here, we've done all the things that I wanted to do in this video, but let's do one more, because this is the way I typically do everything. Damn it. Here, I'll slide this can over here. Is if I go into create, and by the way, you can, after you get those laid out like that, then I go into the UV editor and tweak it. If I go to create polygons, the hardest object to go in and lay out the UVs for. Okay, the sphere. Okay, this is of the primitives. This one's the weird one, right? And I don't have a texture in here. I'm going to do some searching. I'm going to search off screen so you can't see what I'm doing for a moment as I whip around here into texturing. Do I have UV? No. Where the freaking hell did I put it? God damn it. Okay, pause. Okay, so I went hunting around and I couldn't figure it out, but I just quickly went online, and if you look and you type in UV grid, you're going to find all these stinking UV grids all over the freaking place that you can use. Okay, like, I don't know what I think about this one. I kind of like things with a bit of noise in them, that I can see things stretching. So you can pick whatever the freaking hell you want. I'm going to go back over here, right-click, and I assign a favorite material. We'll put on Lambert this time. And I'll put a file texture on, and my favorite grid texture is this one. I found this at, I think, like Texture Archive or something like that, CG Texture Archive. And this one here shows me things stretching. Okay, let's go to the UV editor, window, UV editor, and I should put that on my shelf. There. I held down Control and Shift, and that pops to my shelf. And that was UV set editor, not the one that I wanted. Damn it! Right click, delete. Control Shift, UV editor. Okay, so this one gives me a buzzsaw tooth. It's not even. I want it to be relatively even when I'm doing this. So if I grab the UVs here and I do something like this, I could scale them down till the 10 and the 11 are relatively even. The 9 is good. The 8 starts to get a little bit wacky. The 7 is getting wacky, and then it's stretched all the hell up here. Okay, and let's put on the texture borders. This little button right here, texture borders. And that shows me where all my seams are. So if I hit 5, you can see my seams. Okay. And if I go in here and I grab an edge, and I double click and I get an edge loop, you can kind of see it right here that what I've selected. I'm going to cut that. And the cut is hidden. I don't know why, because I use it so freaking much. Maybe I'm being too old school. That I should maybe investigate those tools. But I like just doing that and cutting it. And then if I grab the UVs and I go here to shell and I bring this up a little bit, okay, now what I want to do now is I've cut this piece off. These ones here need to be sewn. And if I just grab the edges, let's grab the ones off the top and see what they do. I'll sew this button. And I'll grab these ones here and hit sew. And this has caused a little bit of a mess. I missed one. Looks like I missed that one. I'll hit sew. Who am I? Right there. Boom. Okay, now if I just grab these UVs, there's a little magic button right here. This is the Unfold UVs options, and if Unfold 3D is on, you're going to be very happy. I'm going to turn off pack so everything else is not selected, doesn't move, only the selected UVs move. So I've got all these selected. When I hit apply, boop, does that. Okay, and let's do the same thing down below. I'm going to go here, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 looks good, and then I get down here and I say, you know what, 13 and beyond doesn't look good, so I'm just going to cut that. And I don't have to do this, I'm just pulling it away so you can see what I'm doing. And if I grab the edges, I don't want to grab this top edge, because if I grab the top edge and I hit sew, boop, it'll sew back to this piece here, and I don't want that. I want to keep it separate. So what I'm doing is I'm only grabbing these edges right here, and then I'll hit sew. And then I'll grab all the UVs, and I'll hit the unfold button again, and I can just hit the button because I've got it set up. There you go. And they're a little bit uneven. I can scale these until they fit right. Or here's another one. This is the layout options. And these layout options, I got to investigate these because I don't know. Maybe they're better, maybe they're worse. I don't know. I usually use the legacy ones. And I can put free rotations on. I'll leave that off. The big one is putting the pre-scale to world, and if I put it to world, when I grab all the UVs and I just hit apply, boop, it'll try to fit them to world, and for some reason it put them overlapping. I'm not sure why. If I was playing around with something, I might have been playing around with some kind of setting. But if I take this and I take that, and we take a quick look at them, the 5 and the 11 are kind of similar. Okay, they're in a good position. I might even do something like, in this case, I'm wasting a lot of texture space. So what if I went in here and I grabbed this edge right here, that edge loop, and I cut it? Okay, and then I try grabbing the UVs again. UVs! And then I go ahead and I hit the layout button, and there we go. So that's using a much more efficient texture space. And they're relatively even when I look at them. And that's it. That's my taste of UVs. Done in almost 18 minutes. I'm going to stop now.